Welcome everybody to Quick Talks with me, Ray Reyes, and my boy, my fellow mentor, Alex. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. Well, today for this podcast, we're talking to everybody out there that's willing to listen, willing to learn, and want to be informed, about the ComLab ASU. But most importantly, we want to inform them about com483. Both of us being mentors, we want to be able to talk to them about, being leaders in the lab. And for that, I want to talk about the leadership that we've had throughout this semester, especially being virtual. It's been a difficult time, has it not?
Yeah, it's been very difficult, and I think everyone's been experiencing it in different ways. Some people have been thriving and living off the online environment, and other people have been struggling really hard trying to find their own niche and find their own way of really thriving in this type of environment.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking back about previous semesters and this semester, it's a big change for, a lot of us. And, one thing we want to talk about today in this, podcast was about, our leadership moments, being in those roles. We have two of them. I would like, Alex, if you'd want to go first and just tell me those two roles real quick and,
Of course,
about those times.
yeah, of course. My two experiences have to do one with mentoring and being a mentor and mentoring a mentee, and another one has to do with my team and how I communicate with my team and how I took on that leadership role. First things first, when I was mentoring a group for a group presentation, it was very different because they saw me as a leader. And usually, when I'm mentoring or I'm hanging out with other mentors in the lab, I don't feel like a leader. I feel like another student just talking to someone as normal. They saw me as an authority type figure, as someone that has experience, that's credible, and they looked up to me. So I had to take that leadership position. I had to control the meeting. I had to lead them and guide them along the rails so then they can do their speech and I can give them feedback. So it was a different experience because it's not usual when you have to take leadership of a group that believes you're the credible person, that believes you're the authority figure on this subject area. It's very different. My second experience has to do with my group this semester. So, as a 43 student, I was paired with a group of 383 students for a group project this semester. And we didn't have really good communication at first because of the online environment, and it was hard for us to really connect. Once we did, however, we really sort of bonded together. And I learned that as a leader, I can not only be the leader, guide the team and such, but I can also connect with them on a personal basis and on a friendly basis and make friendships out of that, but still maintaining that leadership role. And so me and a fellow 483 student kind of split up the leadership opportunities, and I helped take control of the editing process and going through the recording sessions that we had for our project. So it was a different feel as well because I wasn't the one that was totally credible about the situation. Everyone in the group didn't know what to do at some points along the project, so we had to ask someone else. So it was very different in that sort of aspect, how I was the leader but not the authority figure on the subject. So it was a super different feel, and I think it offered me some more opportunities and insights on different styles of leadership in different roles. How about you, Ray? What are your two experiences?
Oh man, perfect. For me, my two experiences, one would be the, coming back to the lab, previously being gone for a semester and coming back to seeing how things have changed, but also like being in that virtual room. One way would be that I saw was working with a fellow mentor, Rosalind, as we were, on a slow day. We didn't have a lot of appointments, and we actually had a big group appointment come in. And I would just ask, like, hey, can I jump in a group appointment with you? I haven't done one in so long. I want to be able to be prepared, know what to do, just to kind of refresh everything. She said, yes, that's fine. So I took that, initiative to kind of put myself out there to be able to learn more, in that leader type role. And then also
Yeah.
being in that appointment with those group members from that team, it was, it was just hard to see because it was very unprepared. Not a lot of people knew, when who was going, and people didn't have things done. And I felt bad because I seen Rosalind kind of take like not a step back, but like more of a drawback because, she's always good about telling, people like, oh, you did good, this, and that.
Yeah.
But there's so much bad that, I don't think she wanted to be seen as that very critical person. So I kind of took the lead on that one and gave that construction criticism and telling the team, like, I don't see the group cohesion. I don't see the information to be, informative or helpful, or even keeping me on task with what you guys are speaking on, and I would rather do that to help somebody than to just let them fail. You know what I mean? So I felt that
Yeah.
was a good leadership moment. And Roz was like, thank you, Ray. Thank you. I didn't want to be the one to kind of tell them. I didn't want to feel that bad of a person. I was like, no, it's fine. No, I don't mind. I just hope that, it helps them. And then my second time of leadership was that, and for my team, your team, you guys have a good, cohesion, rapport. We kind of got off on the wrong foot because I wasn't really communicating as much as I should have been for the first 2-3 weeks. And I felt really bad with work, school, everything going on. So it kind of took a toll on everybody, like, hey, what are we doing? What's going on? So then I started to be taking action, because it's always good to lead by example, but it doesn't show anything if you're not having action behind that. So I started to be more communicative with my team through email, text messages, the group chats, one-on-one. But what really set the tone was that, another mentor of us, because I'm in a group with 243s. So, Briar had family things come up with this whole pandemic going on
Yeah.
and other issues that happened, that I knew, okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. I got you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, oh, you got to get this is not done. No, with everything going on right now, I just felt that it'd be best if we kind of all tackled it as a team. Even though I knew, she was going through stuff and things were going on, I didn't let that affect us or the team, because I still was like, she still gave me insight, she still gave me input, gave me information, so I was able to use that to put into our script, use that to put into our video, use that to put into the group chat. So even though she wasn't there, but me and her had the communication, and I took the lead of just staying communicated with her one-on-one, was able to help us and benefit us along the way. And I felt that was good, because, that kind of just showed, like, you have two leaders, but, one's going through something, you have to step up and kind of take control of the range. So that was my second, shown of leadership there at the lab.
Yeah, that's a good point you brought up with your first example, is you have to kind of find that balance as a leader of the good and the bad of the team and how to bring those together, because you can't just focus on the bad and you can't just focus on the good as a leader, because that doesn't help build yourself, and that doesn't help build your team up to become better as a group with better cohesion. And so bringing in some of that good can show them what they're doing well and what to keep doing, but bringing in some of that bad and what they can improve upon can really help them grow as not only people but as a group as well. So that was a really I like that, because I've had an example of that where I had to kind of bring together the group and say, okay, you do very well on this part, but try to focus on these areas as well, and you'll become a better group, better cohesion, and your presentation will flourish even more.
Yeah, that works well too. And then I also like your point of your leadership role being, I don't think it's authoritative. Authoritative. I'm sorry, I can't even talk this morning. But you took the approach of not being the type of person who just telling, doing. Like, you guys do this, you guys do that. You kind of were there to kind of be there, like, hey, we're in it together. I'm here to help you guys out. I'm not gonna let you guys just do everything. What do you need? What help do you need? Because there can be some people that can just be like, well, you got the announcement, you've seen what's on
Yeah.
there for assignments. But it's that taking that time, like you're saying, to be able to kind of elaborate, talk to them, who has questions, who has concerns, what do you need help on? And that goes a long ways, you know what I mean? But before we end it or get close to the end, I wanted to ask you, now being in this role, being here for this semester, what would you say you believe leadership is now?
So in the beginning of the semester, I thought leadership was about trying to find your flaws and how to fix them, which is important as well. But I believe leadership is really finding your own style of leadership and how you can build others through your style. Because not every style is the same. Every style is different, because every person, although it's weird to say, every person is unique. So finding your own style is very important of how you lead and how you can lead others as well.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, that's a good thing to hear. For me, for what I believe leadership is, I always have that thing in my head, like, you lead by example, but when you're not taking action, you're not really showing any example. And I kind of felt bad because I didn't want to, how do you say, prepare my team to fail when they become 43 mentors, because I wasn't taking the actions needed to be able to communicate to them, talk to them, and be able to, see what's going on. I kind of just let it go by the wayside. And then, as things came up, I
Yeah.
started to communicate, but I needed to be able to take better action, and I kind of seen that, and I'm glad I saw that. So that just let me know what I need to work on and what I need to be better in, but I do believe that leadership takes more than just leading by example. It does take the action. It does take trial and error to also learn from those mistakes, like you were saying, with flaws, because I think we all have them. But it's just about, how you go about it and how do you fix those and how do you make those right, because everybody's not perfect, but in our own way, we can be able to learn to be better leaders day by day. Well, as we come to the end now, it's getting close to that time. I want to say thank you, Alex. I appreciate working with you this semester in com483, seeing you on the virtual room, working with so many people. And, it's been great. And hopefully you get to stay in touch.
Yeah, of course. It's been great working with you, great seeing you, great doing this podcast. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great one. Com483 out, forks up, go Devils.